The Muggles.
The Muggles.
So I already have it on record. We're going to leave it on there. And your record button for when we do leave that area is right here at the top right. You'll just tap it when we walk to the next space, and then you're going to be in charge of recording that session as well there as well too. So here's what goes on here. Every tour normally ends at that church right there because there's a sign right inside the gate. Inside the gate it says there's no ghost here, there's the Holy Ghost. Because they don't want jerks like me with cameras like that going in there to try to reenact what actually occurred. The reason why I don't always tell this story is because what occurred there can be a little on the, how do I put this, I hate to say dangerous side, but all these other tour guides that are telling people about it, they're not giving that little curse that goes along with it. Let's get into it. 1888, a young lady passed away. Her name is Sue Howard Hardy. You're going to be looking for her initials, SHH. I know it's cheesy and campy, but that's what it spells. We've seen it and we've heard it, just so you know. She died 6 days after her stillborn child, so we're 2 days away from the baby's death anniversary. And then 8 days away from her own anniversary. So very sad story. We're going to take it a step further. 1987, 99 years later, a local photographer was taking pictures of all of our cemeteries and captures an apparition in one of his photographs. It's 1987. He doesn't have the tech that we have now. So he sends it to Kodak. I don't think I need to explain what Kodak is to anybody in this group. That's good. Be surprised. Teenagers think it's a bear. Teenagers, don't get me started on it. But at that rate, Kodak can only prove that it came from the camera that he said it did, and it was not altered in any way, shape, or form. Yeah, because it is usually in the top 100 top apparitions. You've probably seen it on another tour too.
Yeah, last night it's crazy. So you can see right through it.
However, now, did you see it on another tour?
Yeah.
Did they hand you the tablet or?
No, it had like a link, a QR link, and I pulled it. I think I still have that phone.
But here's the thing about the picture. It's cursed to females. So females that handle it even in a digital format like a tablet or your phone are said to have the same symptoms that we talked about at the beginning, the headache, the nausea, the dizziness, which is why I don't always tell this story. However, pregnant females handling that picture not said to have a good pregnancy. You can imagine if I got somebody showing up on their honeymoon and 9 months later, I don't want to be the guy that cursed your family. That's the whole point. So you get and this is all I do, guys. Like, this is not a side hustle for me. So again, I study this shit all the time. So I'm going to show you guys the image, and I'm going to zoom in on it so everybody can see it. I'll do a 2x2x2. But again, just don't touch the damn tablet. So there are a lot of females here. I don't want to put anything in there.
I'm beyond childbearing age. So.
Yeah, but we still don't want you to feel ill.
What was the initial for you?
SHH. So we'll start.
Is it when she like bent over?
Yep.
Can you use all the gadgets, honey?
You can obviously see her back. Did they point out the baby basket?
That one's better than the FLIR camera.
But you could see like
I don't care.
Yeah.
I like that one better than
This
the
was
FLIR
taken
camera.
on the exact 99th anniversary of her death. There's a full picture that he took. She's leaned at her own grave, and the baby basket's right next to her. And then I want to say it was like 2012, 2013. Somebody else took another picture, same exact date. It's real wispy. It's not this crystal clear. So again, I always like to show off the full picture of like why that would look like a weird thing. So, but for a guy that studies this, on the daily, when you type in top 100 apparitions ever caught, this is usually in that top 100, which is why normally I would tell my Aunt Bonnie story across the street, let them have this. But I was like, we're going to close the anniversary, they're going to have tours coming through, we're going to give them a break, they'll let us back in later, probably towards midsummer, I'm sure. But when we go over there, obviously I'm going to have Brian get us some footage. He's going to put that camera right inside the wrought iron gate, and I'm going to show him where that is. There's also a light off to the left of that cemetery that's trying to deter people from taking pictures in video. Again, my camera can see right through it, which is perfectly fine, but I definitely want you listening in. We do get all kinds of things. I gave you all kinds of clues. Obviously, her initials, her full name, her baby, 99, June 16th. Not to my knowledge. I couldn't find the full records because a lot of the records here in Charleston were destroyed by fire. So I did look for it. I don't think we're going to find the father's name in there, but his name was Gaston. So again, I don't always give you guys all those extra clues, but Gaston, if somebody hears Gaston through a radio sweep, like, I'll be super impressed, and I'm going to dig for it. Like, I want to find it, because that's just not a name we use. So I don't always throw those extra little details out there. Oh, this is also bleed over from hopefully Dr. Ladd as well. So I will show you where we got that 10 milligauss too, because there wasn't anything near it that should have given off, and he only had it one time. So it stayed pretty low otherwise. How are we doing on the letters while we're waiting on them?
Yes, the only really thing that's come across.
Okay.
Is this where the mass grave site is?
No. Mass grave site.
Is that not the same? graveyard.
So are you thinking of the Quaker graveyard?
Yeah, I think so. They had to come pick up all the bones down the street.
Oh yeah, so that was like pretty much throughout Charleston. Yeah, and they're talking a lot of like those myths and legends, and obviously exaggerate a lot of those things for you. There is a mass graveyard of Quakers. We call it the Quaker graveyard. It's interred, and they moved it from King Street to the location on Meeting Street, just so they can build the King Street garage.
Oh, wow.
So the King Street garage actually has a plaque, kind of memorializing that. But over on Meeting Street, right next to the Mills House, there's actually a place that has one plaque with all 33 names on it of who was interred to that ground. I used to investigate there with dowsing rods because the Quakers didn't have a belief in the afterlife system. Did they move? Perfect.
Yes.
Let's go get some footage. Let's go this way. Gotta steal it while you can. Every ghost store like coaches for this. Unmuted over here so we can kind of check things out. Brian, you're going to shove your camera right in here. The sign, if anybody wants to see it, that says there's no ghost here is right here. You'll probably have to shine something on it, but I'm sure Brian will get you some footage with the... Yep, it's pointing right at us on purpose. Now, Brian, just so you know, the grave for Sue is in the back, and you see the cross headstone? Yep. It is one to the left and backwards behind like the oval shaped one, just so you kind of have that idea. So we've been trying to just kind of keep a nice steady camera in there to see if there's any actual movement. Liz, do we have anything coming out of your spirit box at all?
Not that I'm catching.
Let's get you cranked up for a minute or two. Allie, you have any words I need to know about?
King, disturbing, book, hunt, farm, Alexander.
Did you say book?
Yes.
Want something else with it? Dr. Ladbroke poetry. Waiting. Anything relative to his work. So, and actually, what I read today is he actually did a lot of like speeches here at Charleston. So I was actually kind of thumbing through some of that today. I didn't realize he did all of that work as a doctor, like just wanting to write. So
Reporting.
what was weird where he had that pen, it's like I read one of his like addresses today, and it was for the 4th of July. 1786. So the year that he died. And it was like just 8 years ago we earned our freedom. It was 1784. So it's kind of an interesting case, like the ring. Just 8 years ago we earned our freedom. Like the number one thing to do, right? I didn't push it to the top of the list and yell crazy gadgets with you guys, things.
Yeah.
I write up a report and I'll let you know how fun it was. Whether it was a light night or whether it was a mediocre night or like a holy shit night. Yeah, I've had some of those. But lately, it's actually been on the high end of below average or the low end of average. I do have a scoring system, so
Yeah.
that way I know like exactly at the end of the night when I go to the spot check, like, oh, we actually had a pretty decent night when you put these all together. You know what I mean? So it's pretty interesting when you get that. Cool. Jenny, what do you got going on over there? Any voices?
Yeah, I've heard like 4 different words. I've heard Phil, like the name, and then elite. What else did I hear?
Do you know what church you're at? This is St. Philip's.
What did you say?
Phil. It's St. Phil.
Yeah. They said
And then I
Phil,
heard Tune.
Tune, yeah.
Red or what?
Red?
I had
I got Tat, T-A-T,
And unclear.
T-A-T-R.
Almost like a double initial, possibly. Have you used the spirit box before?
Like for listening, that no, I have not used it, but I've seen it done.
Because our next experiment, like, I need the spirit box person to like really be able to shout things out.
D-O-S-Y.
I think I'm not your girl.
Yeah.
I think
I hate to say it, but I'm thinking the same
That's
thing.
okay.
Yeah.
I was, you can hold
Yeah.
the millimeter.
Yeah. We'll swap when we get over there. Yeah, give her a little bit of practice if you guys want to swap now.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to need somebody, you'll see why once we get to that stop. It is our last stop, but it's a very cool experiment. Brian, how we doing over there? You got anything going on?
Not that I see.
Yeah, that screen's even smaller than the other one.
Yep.
You're gonna have little things.
I got Tab again. T-A-B. Crazy? Notice it?
Where is it?
Is that what it said?
It just sounded like it said, where is it? Like really fast.
Oh, yeah. That's why I said, if you suck at it, it's fine. I'm going to go through it anyway.
I was trying. I kept thinking I heard 50 more than the times I told you. Where is my phone? Is it on this side?
Sounded like
Oh,
it
right
was
there.
stressed.
A button. There's a button that's on it. This will be an interesting piece next, for sure.
I thought it said Uriel.
Alright, so Brian's getting us another minute or two. Let me kind of do a quick explanation of what we're going to be doing next. To kind of give you guys a gist, because the next location is our last stop. First and foremost, did you guys notice on the back of most of your devices you have a giant QR code? That's my business card. If you guys want all my socials, website, phone number, email address, that's how you get it. Apple Scan, Android Tap. It just gives you something to do from here to our last stop because it is like 2.5 blocks away. Now, we're going to be doing the Estes method at the next stop. So for those of you muggles that don't know what that is, let me explain. So I am going to take Heather, and we are going to blindfold her with that spirit box, and she's not going to know the history of that location. I will then give the rest of the group the history, and we will come back and watch this unfold. There's somebody going to be sitting with her, so let me explain what that looks like. I'll be talking to her as if she's the ghost, and she's literally going to say whatever she hears in real time. So again, the blindfold is to actually enhance her listening skill, and that way she also can't read my lips. So it's another kind of a tactic. Next, I'm going to take Josh, and he's going to sit next to her, and he's going to have a virtual reality helmet on. What that's going to do is it's going to create images out of artificial intelligence using EMF readings. So a lot like the device that he's already using, and what Liz has now. The rest of you, unless of course we want to convince Brian to sit down next to his wife to be able to be blindfolded too, I'll have somebody else film this whole ordeal, so that way they can both experience the Estes method, and then they can watch it later. So we'll kind of see how this goes. He's like, I'm not really sure.
No, I'm good.
So it's a fun experiment. It can work one of two ways. It can either work out to the point where it looks like a full-blown conversation between me and Heather, and we have the ghost actually talking back to me, and we're getting it all on film. And then the images are going to be supplemental. Now, the images he's going to see, I have no idea what they are. They're totally random. He might get 0, we might get 12, but the average is about 4, and it's about 45% accurate. I measure all of these results so I know how accurate this shit is. So about half the images you see should be relevant to the space of where we are and the conversation that's being had. What you and I will be doing is about a 1 in 3 chance that we'll have a decent session. I've had a few like holy cow moments with these, so I've been doing this session for about a year now, maybe a little bit over. So again, it's about a 1 out of 3 chance. And a lot of times I'll blindfold 2 people. If I have a larger group, I'll take 1 person from every party, and that way I can have 2 blindfolds and then obviously the virtual reality person. And it gets very interesting to see how it works. But again, with somebody like Liz who's a little hesitant on what she's hearing, so that's kind of where this goes, where I'm like, I don't know if she's going to be able to give us enough. So obviously we should definitely practice along the way. So Brian, let's go ahead and pull your camera down. Like, that is the best footage ever. You have a job with me later if you want it. So for a guy my height, that's going to get... so this spot, I've only been coming to, this was last year's new space. And the first time I came in here was November, which is when I started looking for new spaces. Right after Halloween, right after my busy season, because I do change this up every year. So I only had 2 people because it was cold that night and everybody canceled. Just kind of like you guys had an extra party cancel on you. So I told the young lady with the spirit box, I was like, I know a lot of tourists come in here. Let's find out why. Just tell me whatever you're hearing. I didn't know who we were looking for. She heard the year 1828 and the name Henry. I was using Allie's word list that night, like I always do with a small group. I had the name Tim that showed up. This is Henry Timrod. He was born in 1828. So I was like, oh, hot damn, there's my ghost. Nice. So I already knew a little bit about him, but here's what you'll need to know for this experiment. Which, by the way, everybody's going to have their role over there. So Jenny and Allie, in the event that I'm not getting answers from them, they're hopefully going to come to your devices. So it's okay if you have something spelled out or you see a new word show up, just say what the word is. We have seen triple-digit EMF during these sessions before, so definitely let me know anything above 2.5. And obviously, Brian, you're going to keep your camera on them so they can watch this later. They will not know this history tonight. They're going to have to wait for the recording or the camera or the video. And again, I'm a jerk like that. You guys will have to tell them on the way home if it's relevant. Oh, by the way, so somebody with Heather, she's not going to be able to hear me. So she's going to need to know a few things. If she's too loud, somebody will need to tap her on the shoulder. I'll give you the cue. We have neighbors. I try not to make them angry. And when we're done, because I do time this for about 10 to 12 minutes, you're going to need to tap her on the leg. So again, she's not going to be able to hear me. I don't touch my guests that are on the bench, so I have you guys do it. So I'll kind of call you guys out for that. But here's what you need to know about Henry. Being born in 1828, he's a writer first off, and he's old enough to go fight in the Civil War. He goes out to the battlefield, 1860s, and he decides he's going to fight for the Confederate side, obviously, because he's from Charleston. So he goes out there, and his... Bless you. Sorry, I thought you were chuckling at me. I thought it was a chuckle. But anyway, his comrades realized he was too sick to fight. They sent him home, knowing he was a writer, and asked him to go be the voice of the war. Basically, go tell people what's going on in the battlefield. So he came home, Charleston, started writing poetry about what was going on out there, and he became known as the Laureate of the Confederacy. Big title in the writing world, in case you're not familiar with that. Anyway, he's writing and publishing and doing pretty well, and he has a son. His son's born on Christmas Eve, and his name is Willie, but he died 9 months later. I'm always telling you guys about dead kids, and I'm sorry about that. It's just the way the history falls. But anyway, him and his wife Katie are mourning. He's not writing as much. He has another writer friend named Paul. He offers him his cottage in Columbia. That's the middle of the state. He says, go get back on track, leave your wife behind to mourn with her parents that were here visiting. He goes out to that cottage, but that's where he wrote his last words. He wrote, beholder of brief mortality, which, common language of today, it means dear person with a short life. And then he coughed, and it landed on the page in a blood stain. He had tuberculosis. He died right there, age 38, and in hand. However, we're going to take it one step further, because that's just a standard ghost story, right? They show this page that he coughed up on one day a year at the Charleston Library Society because we call it the blood book. The blood stain looks like a man writing at his desk. It's the perfect mark to leave behind. Now, you have to be a member of that society to be able to go see it on Halloween, because that's the only day they showed it, but the internet's beautiful. I'm going to show you guys what this page looks like, and then we're going to go talk to Heather as if she's a ghost. And hopefully Josh is going to get us some really cool images to be able to verify what's going on with the conversation. Here is your blood stain. This full last page. So, beholder of brief mortality, cough, cough, death. And there is a man writing at his desk. You'll have a link to this as well. It's all in your notes. I make sure, because they don't get to see this part, so I make sure that there's always a link in there. But again, Henry's a little timid. Sometimes it takes me a minute. I know he doesn't always like when I'm here with other parties, to kind of speak. He's not always great about females sitting in the bench either. So we'll kind of see how this goes. I had 3 gentlemen in the bench the other night, and that wasn't a great We had, oh, by the way, Dr. Ladd does like to creep through this. We talked about the whistling doctor. The house he lived in is literally right around the corner. So again, we will see probably things from him, but he has a code word. I'm not going to tell Heather what it is, but in the event that she says the word purple, it's just his little code word that I gave him to let me know that he's the one that's here and not him. Okay, so it's not a common word you would hear on the radio, which is why I chose it. So again, if they say purple or it shows up somewhere else, you gotta let me know so I know what's going on. Fair? Alright, let's go talk to a ghost. Let's go see what we can get out of it. Figured out to have ladies on the bench. I didn't want to mess up your camera. It actually opens up like a battery.
If not, I was thinking about it. Things he didn't.
Now you got ear holes and your headphones will go over top of that. So a couple of things before we put all the gear on. So you're not going to be able to hear me because you're going to have both headphones on nice and loud. When you're too loud, if that happens, we have neighbors. I'm telling them, I try not to piss them off. Somebody from your party will tap you on the shoulder, quiet down. Don't forget to tell us what you hear when you hear it. So again, a lot of people forget that. When we're done, somebody from your family will tap you on the leg. So then when you take off your own gear, I never touch you. You will literally tell me everything you hear in real time, including yes, no. Reason why, I might ask for a ghost if I'm wearing a black vest, I'm expecting you to say yes. So again, every little thing that you hear. Have you ever done virtual reality before?
No, I know the gist though.
But this isn't like Jurassic Park, dinosaurs eating your face off.
I just look around, it should...
Nope, you're going to look straight ahead.
Okay,
so
it should pop up images
I do have an ambient picture in there. It's a moving galaxy, so that way you don't fall asleep. Every once in a while, because the galaxy will be here, you're going to get an image that shows up in front of it. You're going to briefly describe what that image is. 2 people, bench, tree. Reason why, she's talking and doesn't know she's talking over you. Now, in the event that she's not talking much, I will ask you probing questions.
Okay.
And I will say your name first. So I'll say, Josh, what are the people wearing? What time era are they from? So that way you know it's directed at you and not towards our ghost. So I will address our ghost several times with his name. You're going to be able to hear me. He won't.
Okay.
That's the point. So I will hold this.
Can I wear my glasses or I gotta take them?
Probably won't fit in there. So you could try it, but more than likely won't. Blindfold first, then headphones, and then crank up your volumes, and I'll give you a few silly questions to make sure you can't hear me. It is 10:43.
And you want to tap her?
She got run on the thing though.
Oh, nice. We're not running.
No, I'm sitting.
Where do we need to run to?
Alright, she's under. It is 10, did you say 10:44? What color is a blue banana? Perfect, she can't hear me. Henry, I'm getting the blue box set up so you can give us images, but if you could tell us anything about your job, just to verify that you're here, that would be super great. I would appreciate that.
Share.
What do you want to share? I'm looking for your job. I'm asking for something very specific. So this will line up with you, Josh, just so you know. But in the event that it's blurry, because you don't have your glasses on, you do have a focal point right here, and then underneath you can put both thumbs there and push it in and out. So there you go. Find your focal point. Body. So, Henry, let's get back.
All I see is says go back. Do I hit?
No, you want to look straight ahead. Lift your head up so you don't hit any of those things.
Oh, a galaxy.
There you go. Yeah, you look down, you're going to be hitting virtual buttons. We don't want to mess that up.
Okay.
It's all preset.
Now what does this do?
Moves it in and out. Henry, we're hearing a sound from the church right now. Can you tell us what that sound is? I always try to use the
Memories.
bells as because we've had it on the word list and the Ouija board. We've had it come out of everywhere. Henry, what was the sound we just heard out of the church?
Nope.
Okay, you want to talk about something else? You want to talk about me? You and I kind of share an occupation. What is it?
Power.
Power of what?
3 5.
So close on the death. Died at 38. Damn. Henry,
Early.
let's talk about your work. What did you do for a living?
My grandson.
Never had a grandson. Dr. Ladd,
Classic.
if you're here, you need to give us your code word so we know. You can also give us an image of that code word. I'm sure Josh would like to see anything but the galaxy I put in there for him.
7.
Dr. Ladd's birthday, July 7th.
This production.
Dr. Ladd, can I have you step back and let Henry answer some of these questions? If not, give us your code word to let me know that you're the only
Now.
one that you're going to be answering questions for us. Henry, your job, please.
This time. He helps.
Who helps?
Men.
Who helps? Henry, if you're referring to the doctor, you need to tell us the word doctor.
Music.
Henry,
2000.
did Dr. Ladd come here with you? Josh, still nothing?
No, I don't know. Nothing I can make out.
Still got the galaxy in there?
Yeah. It's got like, it's like black and red. And then it's like on the outside of the galaxy, then it's still got all the little shapes, circles. But nothing's like
Place.
manifesting.
Okay. We'll give it another minute and then
Person.
I'll make sure the app is working. Give it a hard reset. It's supposed to use the EMF from around us and basically translate it into an image.
Yeah, I have no images.
Give it another minute and that will bring it up to 5.
But nothing I can say is an image.
Last long.
Henry, can you give us an image in the blue box, please? I just want to verify that the box is working. Tell us about your work. Dr. Ladd, if you're here, give us your code word. Use the blue box on Josh's face.
The black stuff's moving.
Remember me?
We're trying to. We need more details. What do you mean it's moving? Are you getting an image?
No, it's like it's going in and out and like it's creating less and more of the galaxy, but it's not creating an image. It's just like blotches. But I can see clear enough if there's an image. Like,
We've seen where there was glitches like that and it was creating images, but you never got to see them through the viewfinder. Like if we were able to see them later. Like when I pulled the phone out of there.
yeah.
The same.
Henry, I'm still looking for verification that you're here. You said he helps. Does that mean the doctor?
Give me something. Please.
Slide that off.
Decisions.
Slide that off for a second. I want to reset the app just to make sure. Because again, this normally we get at least one image by now.
No, it's like black blotches like moving. It's like they're kind of closing in and they come back out over the galaxy part.
Nothing in the gallery of it because it saves all the images.
Yeah,
I was.
Henry, I'm trying to fix this blue box. Still waiting for your occupation or what happened? What did we hear out of the church? Should have noticed I've asked the same question in like 10 different formats trying to just get him to answer.
yeah.
He's not always happy about me being here, but at the same time, I don't want to just throw 30 questions at him in
No.
10 minutes and
Yeah.
one sticks.
Stream.
You got anything?
So, again, it will line up with you, and it looks like something is already generating. So just look straight ahead, and it should line up. Henry, we're running out of time. Let's hear a whistle. People behind you.
I still don't really see an image.
Hold.
Henry, we're running out of time. We're down to about 4 minutes. If you're not going to give us anything.
Because he has.
He has what?
Stay.
Normally I ask you at this point if you want us to go home and leave you alone.
Should stay.
Welcome back.
Oh, wow. I still don't have an image yet. Nothing I can make out.
Henry, you want to talk about your son or your wife?
Mike.
Even your father. You can talk about him if you want.
Baby.
Can you tell us how old your son was when he passed away?
I got the name Noah.
Noah, like N-O-A-H?
Yeah.
Nice. Remind me to write that down. I try not to write anything down with this session, so I can
Calling.
Henry, back to your son, the baby. How old was he? Do you have anything coming out of your word list?
A little bit, but it seems very stop moving, Ron, flame, farm.
That's what we're doing.
Henry, tell us about your son.
Factories.
Can you tell us who your son was named after? Henry, who is your son named after? You always give us very small breadcrumbs, Henry. Still no images, Josh?
No.
Dr. Ladd, let's address you before we wrap this up. We're
Don't you?
down to about 2 minutes. Can you tell us where you're from originally?
Trust.
Dr. Ladd, where are you originally from? What state?
I want to listen.
Listen to what?
The name Colin.
Blue eyes.
That's very specific, isn't it?
Yeah.
There's no images that
Mental.
verified Dr. Ladd had blue eyes. Even if there were
Somebody's going
images.
to.
1786.
Somebody's going to look.
Actively.
Pretty vague. Henry and Dr. Ladd, we're going to wrap this up. Can you tell us good night?
Only 24.
He was 22, Dr. Ladd, when he passed away. So again, we've had 35 and 24, but we also have Willie, whose birthday was on Christmas Eve. We've had the number 24 show up here before.
Whoa, what was that?
Ringing of the bell.
Hang on. Whoa, what the?
Ringing of the bells. Did you all catch that? Finally.
I got an image. I don't know what it is.
Okay, give it a second to generate.
Is it a bed?
I love his excitement, by the way. I'm sorry. Anyway,
Oh my God, what is this?
Henry.
You're doing great, whoever's doing this, Henry, Dr. Ladd. I don't know.
Henry. Thank you for answering the bell question. I appreciate that. Were you talking, was the 24 and the baby all relevant to your son?
I have no clue what this is.
We'll be able to see it when we get you out of there, by the way.
It's like a bed or something. And oh, it's going away.
Yeah, they don't stay long. Usually about
Okay.
30 to 40 seconds at best.
I don't know. I don't know if it looked. It almost
Henry?
looked like somebody's arm cut off or something on the right. I don't know. It's so weird.
Was there blood in there?
No.
With you.
It was like, I seen like a bed rail, then I seen like almost like a wall or a cabinet. And I swear it was like I was like looking over a bed.
Okay.
I don't
Henry,
know.
we're going to wrap this up because it seems like it's getting very busy in here.
Can you give me one more image?
That was usually the deal I make. He's on top of it. Henry, one more image and we'll wrap this up. Let's get some verification.
Jesus.
Jesus. I'm still looking for the age of your son when he passed away. Allie, anything showing up? No numbers? Nothing?
in life?
You know, kind of like how it's spelled out 7
Question.
before.
Right now I have Robert.
Evening such as this.
Can you give me one more image, please?
Don't mind if I do.
Please.
Henry, let's get another image and we'll wrap it up. We'll leave you alone.
You can do it, please.
Not the best
Something
camera
just touched
ever.
my hair. No, it like, something grabbed it.
Certainly.
Did somebody just touch Josh's hair?
It felt like somebody just grabbed the tip of it.
I'm waiting for her to say yes. Because that was a yes-no question. Henry? It's been in there a minute. Probably about time they're falling out of there.
I got the
Henry?
word bolt.
Henry going once for an image. Henry going twice for an image.
Satisfied.
Okay, that's my cue. Go ahead and tap her out. Go ahead and tap her knee so she knows to take off her gear. Josh, peel that thing off your face. Let's take a look at the image you did get.
That was, I don't know what it was, but it was...
So you do have a button next to your volume. It'll turn the machine off.
in the world?
That way we know that the last, we'll just say 13 minutes.
That was cool. Thank you, Henry.
Yeah. So we're all going to take a look at this image that he saw, and maybe he actually had some extra since he had a couple glitches. I don't want you to get uplished yet.
Do I
Thank
hold
you,
it?
Henry.
Or...
Press it.
Oh,
Slide
I
it up.
slide it. There you go. That
Okay.
is very disorienting.
Far.
That is wild.
So I don't take notes during these sessions because I've actually had two seizures happen from people doing this, and people hyperventilate. So I don't put that precognitive in their brains. You can hit the stop button, by the way, if you wanted to.
Hold on, I'd like to get in the video since I've been. Hi everyone.
It's his own video. He actually had 2 images.
No.
Yep.
That's the one I seen.
So the other one must have just
What
been
is it?
It looks like a basin, like there's a sink. I don't know, you guys tell me. Let's get into it.
That's
so that's the image that he saw.
Can you hold it sideways?
No, it won't go that way. When you guys get this in, these images through Google Lens. So in case
does
I
it.
miss something, Google Lens